Acting as President Pro Tem, will you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We would like to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting, District 210 Board of Education. We'll begin our meeting with a brief statement from Dr. Tingley.
Good evening. The Board of Education has received the resignation of two of its members. The Board of Education has received the resignation of two of its members, Mr. Christopher McFadden and Mr. Kevin Molloy, both of whom are to be thanked for their service. Recent comments by Mr. Molloy do not reflect the opinions of the administration or board. Our board members are volunteers who take their commitment to the mission of our district very seriously and make decisions in the best interest of all of our students. The board has now begun the process to fill the vacancies left by these recent resignations and continues to remain focused on providing the experiences and opportunities necessary to maximize the academic and the social growth of all of our students.
Thank you, Dr. Tingley. We'll begin with public comments. Oh, I'm sorry, roll call. Sue.
Mr. Luo.
Here.
Dr. Johnson. Mr. Kozel.
Here.
Mrs. Glatz. Here. Mrs. Molinari.
Here. Now we will begin with public comments. I would like to remind you that our public comments are 30 minutes in total length. Each speaker will have 5 minutes to speak. You will receive a 1-minute warning and know to begin to wrap up your speaking. I would also like to remind you that you are speaking to the Board of Education. We are your audience, and you should be facing us and directing your comments towards us. We will maintain decorum throughout this meeting, meaning that if we need to ask you to settle down, we will. Our first public speaker is Samantha Nicola.
There's some things in life that are out of your control, that you just can't change. And the toughest part about that is facing the decision to give up or keep going. This past year has been a trying one for me. I had to learn you can't force things in life, that you get what you allow people to do to you. I've learned you can't force consistency, loyalty, or even honesty. You can't force people to keep their word or to communicate or to realize something special is right in front of them. But I've also learned I don't have to tolerate being ignored. So many times I've been asked the question, why do you care? You're only 23. So I figured what better place to answer that. We are Lincoln Way, a statement thrown around by everyone in this room, and a statement most of you board members use to justify your decisions. However, at this current moment, there is no evidence that supports that assertion. We are without a doubt the epitome of failure as a district. So when you say we are Lincoln Way, I wish I knew just exactly what you meant. You see, all the board members before you, the original 7 of this mess, and those of you remaining, allowed me to believe in something powerful when it was really no more than a painted perception stirred into my imagination. I used to believe that we were a district who stood up for what was right and that we had morals, that we weighed decisions on the future of our children. I was taught that I must sacrifice and care about even those on the opposite side of the 105 square miles from me. I believe that we are people of integrity, that we put our money where our mouths were and never back down from a challenge. We built great things, buildings, students, cultures, and reputation. We are told to reach for the stars and how to properly go from girls and boys to men and women. We aspired intelligence, and we never bullied another person. At one point, we identified ourselves as Lincoln Way, and now it is defined by the ever-crumbling board that we voted for in elections. I was taught that the first step in solving any problem is to recognize that there is one. We are not Lincoln Way, because Lincoln Way fell apart under your control. It takes guts to fix this, it takes strength, and when you had a chance to fix this, you put your tail between your legs and whimpered away, proving to be nothing more than the first round of training dogs to Superdog leader Dr. Wiley. This is the biggest battle in Lincoln Way history. For those of you remaining in your seats, now is the time to take a stand. Now is the time to right this wrong. The walls are closing in on you. Stop sitting in the dark alone. We fell so far away from where we used to be. So where do we go now? It's up to you, and it's up to me. And we need to find a way to meet in the middle and find our way back. We, the people in this crowd, will walk away knowing that we did everything we could. We were willing to fight through this situation that we got ourselves into. We are prepared to climb out of this financial hell. In any fight, it's the guy who's willing to exhaust themselves who wins, because anything less makes you a failure by default. And as the great Vince Lombardi has stated, winning means you're willing to go longer, work harder, and give more than anyone else. We've already done this. Have you? You are the ones remaining on the Board of Education. You can walk away feeling shame and embarrassment, which will be your choice. I choose to be part of the legacy that we will create. I believe there are 5 things that money cannot buy: morals, respect, character, trust, and integrity. And there are some people that are so poor, all they have is money. I'm wealthy beyond my bank account. I am full beyond my meals, and I have light long after the sun sets. I am unstoppable. We are unstoppable.
1 minute, Samantha.
Thank you. Please stand if you believe in me, if you are in my corner, if you have my best interest at heart. Please stand if you will remind me to trust my instincts and never forget to love myself. Please stand if you will teach me to defend
I need
myself.
to remind you, Samantha, that you are addressing us.
I am addressing you, Mrs. Molinari. I'm asking you. Please stand if you'll teach me to defend myself when others wrong me, to not be afraid to say no. Please stand if you will guide me on a path of self-confidence, to say exactly what it is I mean, and give me courage to sometimes walk alone. Please stand if you will guide me through my successes and my failures as I grow to be the woman that I am meant to be. This is not the end of the story. This is not over. This is what I believe, and this is what I will fight for. We are going to build a foundation for these children and create a district like I once believed we were. And I advise that you look at me and those standing. It's just getting started. Our story is just getting started, and this time we're the ones writing it. We're asking you to join us.